Tune in, vibe high, it's GPTV1. Live stream the trends, let the exploration run. Hip hop beats, we're on the scene. Catch the buzz, live your dream. Yeah, I said the end, vibe high, it's GPTV1. Live stream the trends, let the exploration run. Hip hop beats, we're on the scene. Catch the buzz, live your dream. Yeah, I don't affirmly straight apply. Or when I'm stand up for the stone, I live my life. Been east to rich when east and they stick when I make it thighs. But the schoolies never bet for me, my always still for thighs. I'm the horn, niggas know they cute you, I keep out the bone. But let's get it, you know my me, you must be up the shown. And when I see a niggas fine, you will say up front. And if they got me, no, then I, you know I did the con. You up the icon, I see the fact. This ain't I'm easy, but I hate I wake, so what I pack. I keep a searing in the rain, then I smoke as trash. And if I get, I'll keep a far. I know some planet, yeah. Taking trash to the sky from my reason to living. All the flu on the blame that resenting he reeling. Jacks kicking out of love, I might never be willing. You shall never know what you I can never forget. Tune in, vibe high, it's GPTV1. Live stream the trends, let the exploration run. Hip hop beats, we're on the scene. Catch the buzz, live your dream. Yeah, I 7 in, vibe high, it's GPTV1. Live stream the trends, let the exploration run. Hip hop beats, we're on the scene. Catch the buzz, live your dream. Yeah, you know by now it's on the line of people, but you never know this name is Kanana sequel. Speaking fresh, taking down, so the solid needle. Put down, stay the time to line like you want the needles. And if you hate when I like the brown, it's like your cam in the ground till they come now. But like I'm so fresh up and through the moose confused. And now I know what's up and noon and that was all for you. Say you never lose, stakes is later, Parikana. I was go, he's not a like a bagel, drink your face. But I was thinking to his soul when y'all was by the cover. And now I rain, man, I ain't like the make whatever. I say good blend, flame mind, you gave me no restriction. This nap so hard, go within and never missing. Convinced that you need love me now, but sure and never tripping. It's the amazing saw, boy, yo, come and get tripping. Tune in, vibe high, it's GPTV1. Live stream the trends, let the exploration run. Hip hop beats, we're on the scene. Catch the buzz, live your dream. Yeah, I say the name, vibe high, it's GPTV1. Live stream the trends, let the exploration run. Hip hop beats, we're on the
What up, dope fam? Welcome to GPTV1. I am so hyped to have you here with me today. Thank you for tuning in, and remember to smash that like button to help spread the word about the channel. Your support means everything to me. I'm excited to keep delivering great content for all of you. Now, let's get into it. Today, we're diving into a reaction to the latest news surrounding no other than P. Diddy. That's right. His trial has officially kicked off, and there's so much to unpack. From the twists and turns of his journey in the music industry to the serious allegations he's facing. We're going to break it down together. But before we jump straight into that juicy drama, that's what it's called, I want to take a moment to share a public announcement that's super important for all my viewers. So without further ado, let's roll that clip. Stay tuned. And let's see what's welcome to the GP Inner Circle. What up, though, GP fam? I'm excited to announce that the GP membership is now officially active. This is your chance to step up and show your support in a way that truly matters. By joining the Inner Circle, you will unlock exclusive perks tailored just for the most dedicated supporters, because you deserve nothing less. But that's not all. The Super Chat feature is now live, giving you an even greater opportunity to engage with me and the community in real time. Your support fuels my passion and creativity, inspiring me to deliver the kind of fire content that only the GP fam deserves. So why wait? Join the GP membership today and be a part of something special. Let's elevate this community together, because when you thrive, we all thrive. Welcome to the Inner Circle. Your journey starts now. Much love. Yeah, I'm back. P. Diddy. And we all been following this story for the longest. We've been keeping up with it. We've been making podcasts about it. So much reaction and all of that. And I like to get my 2 piece on what's going on out there that's trendy. And right now, Big P Diddy is one of those stories that's trending right now. If you're stopping by, click that like button, hit the comment section, tell me what y'all think. This is GPTV1 Live. I told you all I will be doing this a couple of times a week. Hopefully I can do it more often. I'm starting to get the hang of this live stream, and it reminds me of doing radio back in the day. You can donate to the channel. Super chat is wide open. But I want to go to one of the news sources that was talking about this case, just to stay up to date on what's going on. Share my screen here and see what's popping. Going straight off the hip. Let's see what's going on with this story right here.
And we have more breaking news. Opening statements are underway in the Sean Diddy Combs sex trafficking trial. Prosecutors claim Combs ran a criminal enterprise with his trusted inner circle and committed crime after crime for 20 years. Now the defense is responding, accusing the government of trying to turn choices among consenting adults into a racketeering case. The defense also says the now infamous hotel security video of Combs and then girlfriend Cassie Ventura shows a fight over a phone. ABC's Rena Roy is outside the courthouse, and legal analyst Ariva Martin is taking a closer look at that case for us. So, Rena, what sticks out to you so far from these opening statements?
Well, Diane, we have been watching Sean Combs closely as he listens in on these opening statements, and I can tell you that he's sitting at the defense table with his arms crossed. He looks pretty passive. He doesn't appear to have much of an expression on his face as he listens into pretty explicit detail that's being laid out by the. He did meekly stand at one point as the defense introduced him to the jury, but the prosecution went first, telling the jury Sean Combs to the public was a cultural icon, that he was larger than life, but that there was another side to him, a side that ran a criminal enterprise for 20 years. They went into detail about the drug-fueled sex marathons that they say Combs forced women into, including his ex-girlfriend, Cassie Ventura. But the defense is arguing in their opening statement, as you said, that the government is trying to turn relationships and choices involving consenting adults into a racketeering case. And they say that will not work. They say to the jury he might appear to be a jerk or mean at times, but that's not what this case is about. Diane.
So, Ariva, what do you make of these opening statements so far?
Pretty much what I expected, Diane. I knew the prosecution would come out swinging to try to make their case that this is a racketeering case, that this involves.
Yeah, I mean, the prosecution going to come in and make it seem like you're bigger than life. You the biggest thing popping. You this big CEO boss. You got everybody doing things for you. They catering to you and running whatever you call them. You got all these yes people around you. And then you got the defense. They're going to come in to try to humanize you. Like I said, he tried to do that with his kids. They trying to humanize him and not make him seem like this bigger than life type of figure. That's going to be their defense. This is a normal guy. This is a human guy that makes mistakes.
Violence, it involves coercion, it involves transporting people across state lines for sexual intercourse and for this kind of conduct that's been described in these freak-offs. And we also knew that the defense would push back. Their claim is that this is all consensual sex involving adults. And they're also suggesting that this video that we're going to see of Cassie Ventura is not a video of violence and coercion in terms of sex trafficking, but rather it's domestic violence. And that domestic violence is not one of the charges that Sean Diddy Combs is facing in this case.
Yeah, we also heard the defense attorney say something to the effect of he's not being prosecuted for being mean or being a jerk, trying to keep the jury focused on, is he guilty of these charges? Not, do you think he's a good guy? And of course, Diddy maintains his innocence here and has through.
Let's remember, Cassie is going to be testifying that she's a pregnant married woman right now. So at this point, Cassie looks like a wholesome person.
Out. So what do you also make of the defense's strategy in insisting that prosecutors are trying to criminalize what they are saying is Combs' private, personal sex life?
Well, we've seen this before, Diane. This is a common defense that we see in these cases when you have adults, when you have people who are over the age of 18 involved in these cases. But that is going to be a very difficult burden for the defense to meet. It's been reported that at least 4 victims of the sex trafficking are going to testify. And of course, Cassie Ventura is going to be a star witness for the prosecution. One of the things that the defense is also trying.
Yeah, they're going to have 4 strong witnesses for this. I'm going to stop sharing that. So as of now, they already called a couple of witnesses to the stand as of now. As far as we know, I seen a report earlier that one of the commercial sex worker hit the stand, and one of the officers that got called to the scene when that stuff happened with Cassie, he hit the stand. And he said he got there and P. Diddy tried to bribe him. P. Diddy tried to bribe him when he got there. When the officer was called to the scene, he tried to bribe that officer. And that officer was one of the people that got on the stand. So that's damaging within itself. I want to thank y'all for joining me. This is GPTV1. You stopping by, click that like button and share this live stream. But like I said, when the officer arrived there, at least that's what's been reported, and this is one of the people that was standing on the stand, and he tried to bribe him with that money. If this was just a domestic violence thing, why is he trying to bribe this officer? That's damning within itself. He thought that this video is what broke all this stuff open. People already knew what was going on with P. Diddy. The girl, his other kid's mama, she knew what was going on. Kim Porter. Al B. Sure knew what was going on, because I'm pretty sure he may have saw some of this shit firsthand. And he heard the rumblings and he even seen some of this stuff. But I believe that woman, Kim Porter, told him some stuff too. She told him some stuff. He said it himself that she told him he must watch his back. And I do believe that guy was going through a lot of threats. I truly believe that. I believe that P. Diddy was threatening him. So just like when you be with somebody for so long, you get the pillow talking. They start learning all your little dark secrets. And I think that Kim Porter and Cassie knew a lot of P. Diddy's dark secrets. And I think that this is just a way to bring him down. They just want to bring him down with these type of charges, because they can't get him on none of those other murder type charges. Even Al B. Sure is saying, I think that P. Diddy tried to have me killed, but yet he's not going to be able to prove that. That's the whole thing. So, but that's what he truly believed. And they just can't get him on those type of charges. Y'all remember Al Capone, big gangster Al Capone, the big dog from the Prohibition era. He was this big gangster. And when they proposed the idea to use tax evasion against him, they shoved it off like, nah, that ain't gonna work. This guy too powerful for all that. But sometimes it takes something like that to bring somebody down. See, that tax evasion brought him down. And he got locked up, and that basically was it for him. And with P. Diddy, he got such a long history of stuff, they just can't get him on all these other charges because they can't prove anything. So the best thing to do is get one of these RICO charges with this sex trafficking. And remind you, one of the people that got on the stand today was one of the commercial sex workers. And that's damaging. That's damaging. P. Diddy know he rapped on, he cooked on this, And I hate to speculate on these cases and all that, but this guy is pretty cooked on this. This stuff is just too damning to escape, Once Cassie hit the stand, you got to remember, Cassie is married with pregnant right now. When Cassie hit that stand, she's not that Cassie that was getting dragged up the thing. She's a wholesome woman now. Cassie has a family and all. She living a pretty normal life, even though P. Diddy cashed her out and all that stuff. If she still got that money, who knows? Whatever, She's pretty wholesome right now, so that's going to be damaging when she get on the stand. And the defense is going to try to make P. Diddy as human as possible. He makes mistakes. Yeah, he a jerk, but that don't bring no RICO charge. But when you take those commercial sex workers and you transport them to another location to perform these sexual acts, that's sex trafficking. That is sex trafficking. He's not going to be able to get around that. And these people who are testifying against him, they are starch. They sticking to their story. They're not going to be intimidated. And then he's not going to look intimidating in court. He's going to try to look normal. He can't, he don't know what the emotions are, so he's not going to feel anything that's going on in there. He's not going to feel the victims. You can get that. And it's also been reported that one of his daughters walked out of there when they started getting really graphic in there. This thing going to be graphic. I'm pretty sure they're going to be bringing up those sexual tapes and all of that, so that stuff may be played in court. So this thing is going to be very, very graphic. You can believe that one. But they said his daughter walked out of there. Thank you for joining me right here on GPTV1. This is the live stream. You here? Stop by, hit that like button, share this live stream, and you all can get in the comment section. Tell me what y'all think about this case. I think it's been too damaging witnesses already. And I truly believe that this is karma for him. He just did stuff for so long that something had to eventually take him down. At least that's what I think. But P. Diddy, they say he was in court. He didn't show a lot of emotions in court because he can't feel anything. You don't know what feelings are. That's, in my opinion, this guy is a severe narcissist. You stopping by, hit that like button. I see there's a few people in here. I don't thank y'all for joining me, but tell me what y'all think about P. Diddy. I think this guy's got serious issues right here. I really do. They're going to try to make him look human as possible. He just makes mistakes. They're not going to make him look like he this big conglomerate like the prosecution. Everybody knows P. Diddy lived a big lifestyle. Even the jury knows that. The judge knows that. Everybody in that courtroom know P. Diddy lived this big, gigantic lifestyle. That's always been his image. Since Bad Boy. He throw the biggest parties, the most lavish parties, and a lot of people did attend those parties. A lot of those celebrities, they attended those parties, and some of those people got into some freaky situations. That's definitely going to happen at these, what we call Hollywood type parties, And I got to give P. Diddy a crash out for this one because he definitely crashing out. Let's give P. Diddy a crash out on this. Let me turn that on. There you go, P. Diddy. You crashing out, buddy. You crashing out. Had to give P. Diddy a crash out. Had to give P. Diddy a crash out. Yeah. But anyway, tell me what y'all think about P. Diddy. Super chat is wide open. The membership is wide open. As soon as I hit 10,000 subscribers, I'm going to start doing some subscriptions. Subscriptions when I hit 10,000 subscribers. I'm getting there pretty close to 7,000 right now. That's going to be a milestone. And I want to give a shout out to some people on here. Some people that leave messages and stuff like that. Trying to find it in here. I got my list in here. Let me go in here. Y'all bear with me for a second while I find this information out. So I definitely want to get these shout outs if I'm in the wrong, if I'm on the right page. So let me scroll down, see if I see this information. I don't see it right offhand. Let me try this. Click on something else. Yeah, there's some few people I wanted to holler at. I think it's on my cell phone. It's not on my laptop. So let me come out of here. Yeah, it's on my laptop. That's where is it at? I need to go on there and try to find that information. Some community spotlights. That's what I'm trying to put out there. Go to my channel. Give me a hot second. Let me click on something here. I need to push pause on that. All right. Yeah. So I'm back with y'all, though. I just wanted to try to give some of these shout outs. Information is actually on my phone. Let me see if I can dig it out of my phone right quick. I got to do this. Got to give a shout out to people that supports the channel. Let me see, go down there, go to analytics. Oh, yes. No, I don't see them. I can't pull it off right offhand. I wish I can pull that information up. I got to get them a shout out. I got to shout out to England. There's a few people be checking me out over there. There's a couple of countries be checking me out over there in India. They be checking me out over there. Shouts out to the Beat Factory 313, my man Juice over there. Y'all can go subscribe to his channel. We talking about doing some stuff. That's going to be super cool. So y'all go check that out. It's pretty hard to like network with people and stuff like that. So you got to do a lot of the grinding yourself. That's for sure. You have to do a lot of the grinding yourself when it comes to this work right here. I can't seem to find that information. But anyway, back to P. Diddy. Like I said, I think those were explosive witnesses today. The officer and one of the sex traffickers. They gonna stick to their story. They're not scared of P. Diddy. They couldn't wait to get on the stand. They couldn't wait to get on the stand. And I wouldn't, I hate to say that. I hate to convict people without the process. But when you talk about the feds, everybody know that. That when you say the feds, that scare anybody. That definitely scare anybody. Because they know the feds don't play. When the feds come, they bring the whole force. If they ain't got enough, they'll supersede you. During the whole time while you locked up or whatever, they constantly trying to find more charges to put on you. That's a fact. That is a fact. They try to hit you with multiple charges. They don't come with that one charge. That's not the state, you know. And I've been to a federal hearing before, and it's definitely a lot different than the state court. I've been in those state courts too. I've been in trials. I've been in murder trials before. I've been to a drug hearing before this trial was going on. That guy actually beat that trial too. This is police officer. The guy had a bunch of weed on him, but he had something that actually hide the smell of the weed. So the officer technically didn't smell any weed. He was just being an asshole and just started searching the guy's car, which was illegal. So he couldn't just pull this guy over and just tell him, let me search your car or whatever. When he searched the car, that's when the officer found all that weed. So dude decided to fight that case. And he actually won that case too. They told him you illegally searched his car. You had no probable cause to be searching his car. That's a fact. So it's true. That guy was able to beat that case. So some of these cases can be beatable. Just like the Tyree Nichols case. With that, those lawyers, they humanized the officers and demonized Tyree Nichols. That's exactly what they did. All the time they kept regaling that he was this petty thief. He's using these drugs. They said something about drugs right from the beginning. But that Tyree Nichols thing, when they even came to his mama's house, they say he was drug fueled. He had all this strength, like he was the Incredible Hulk and all that. But in that case, they demonized Tyree Nichols and they humanized the officers. And they brought in that juries from another county, which is a conservative county. And you bringing those people in here to judge a progressive area who never lived in the area, don't know what's going on in the area. All they see is bad images on television. That's what they saying. And they basing themselves off of that. So they was with the officers and all that stuff, you know. They definitely was with the officers. Yeah, so they the type of people that's, you know, they Republicans too. You can't forget that. So, and that district Puffy is in, that's a tough district. You know, that New York district where he, getting tried at, that's a tough district. So, it's not a great reputation as far as beating cases with the feds. That's a pretty hard thing to do. And the reason why they have a big conviction rate is because a lot of people take plea deals. You know, so a lot of people take plea deals and they already plead guilty before they even go to trial. So, because most of them look at the evidence and then they be talking so many big numbers. They talking about giving you 100 years. What are you gonna do? You gonna take that plea deal? I just think in this case, P. Diddy saw that plea deal wasn't going to get him there. He still was going to be in there for a mighty long time. So you better off you just take it to trial. You know, it's your right to do that. Everybody got a right to take their case to trial. Just go in there. If you know if you know they got a lot of evidence on you, and it's more than likely you won't beat this charge, and you still facing a lot of time, why not? You still talking about life in prison, why not? Why not take it to trial? You just may win the case. There's a high probability that you may win that case. I had a few people stopping in here. This is GPTV1 live stream. And I got a shout out to my new subscribers. The subscription is constantly going up. And I'm looking to reach that 7,000 mark. Then we marching all the way to 10,000. And then we're going to start doing subscriptions for real GP people that stay listening to faithfully. I got to give a shout out to my guy, Mac Tip. That's one of the community highlights. Mac Tip is one of them. There's a couple of females on there too. I've been getting more female listeners too. For some reason, I cannot find that information. And I was just looking at it earlier. Yeah, I can't find it. I've been sitting here looking for it since I've been on here. But I can't find that information. But it's a few females been listening to GPTV1. And they've been listening to some of the stories I've been telling. And they've been digging it. So the female listeners has been going up. I can't deny that. Oh, you know what? I think I know where that information is at. I think I know where it's at. Let me go back here. I go to my dashboard. If they even show it, so excuse me. All of a sudden, okay, I can't find it now. I see. I know where it's at now. I know exactly where it's at. Now I need to go to my notifications. Yeah. So I think this is it. Yeah, but anyway, I want to move on to this other guy. It's another case people have really been talking about. And let's go here. This guy right here. I've been seeing a lot of vlogs about this guy. And he got an interesting case because his son got killed, and then he went out and killed the officer for revenge. At least that's what's been reported. Let me go to this story right here. Let me share my screen. Let me share my screen. Stop my little music. Swing on to the screen. And Rodney Hinton Jr. Let's hear a little bit about that story. Let's see, news about Rodney Hinton. News about Rodney Hinton. Let me see. Let's see what this says. News about National Police Week. Larry Henderson. Rodney Hinton Jr. files $20 million lawsuit against police over detention. Let's see what that story says.
Want to know the secret of authentic content that performs everywhere, not just social? Let's be real. Today's audiences can spot staged brand photos from a mile away, and they're scrolling right past them.
Kentucky, areas around Brooksville, Kentucky, and then up toward Mount Orab and Broward here. More showers.
Now in northern Kentucky, emergency crews are searching.
Have a rescue mission.
That seemed to be some other story, the whole news broadcast, but let me go find another better story about this guy, Rodney Hinton Jr.
Hey guys, well, this is a very short timeline. All of this happening over the course of just a few hours. According to testimony today from Cincinnati officer Carl Beebe, at 9:30, we know members of the Hinton family went to CPD's criminal investigation section to watch body cam video of Ryan Hinton being shot by an officer. Now, Beebe says around 10:30, the family left CIS and Rodney Hinton Jr. was too upset to drive, so he got into a car with family members and left his car at CIS. Then he came back around 2 hours later to get his car, and Beebe says Hinton got into his car and left, followed by his family, but then circled back and drove through the CIS parking lot again at 12:49 before he headed toward Clifton. Now, at the same time, Deputy Larry Henderson was standing at a traffic control box to cycle lights for UC's graduation. Officer Beebe says at about 1 p.m., Hinton went left of road markers through the intersection of MLK and Burnett Woods Drive and hit Deputy Henderson and a utility pole. Beebe says Hinton never tried to stop or to turn. Now, Officer Beebe says Hinton didn't try to run off afterwards either, and he was still in his car by the time a second deputy showed up. And Beebe says there were
Yeah, I'm back. GPTV1. I want to thank y'all for joining me. That's a little background on Rodney Hinton Jr. I've seen a lot of vloggers talking about that story. It's interesting. I want to look at some of the background to that story. Let me pull up this report right here. So just get a little bit of background to this story. Where is this coming from? It says blacknews.com. So this independent news source. So apparently they cover a lot of black news. The city of Cincinnati is reeling from two heartbreaking and connected tragedies, each underscoring a deeper pain long felt in black communities. First, 18-year-old Ryan Hinton, a young black man just beginning adulthood, was shot and killed by police while fleeing. The next day, his grieving father, 38-year-old Rodney Hinton Jr., allegedly drove his car into and killed longtime Sheriff Deputy Larry Henderson. While police call both events tragic, many in the black community are calling them exhausting, infuriating, a reflection of the trauma that police violence continues to inflict on families and neighborhoods across America. CNN reports that according to police, Ryan was suspected of being in a stolen car when officers approached. Then they say he ran with what appeared to be a gun and was shot after allegedly pointing at officers. But the body camera footage is inconclusive. It doesn't show him pointing the weapon, only blurred motion and chaos. Yet, as it all too familiar, the bullets came first and clarity is expected to come later. His family still mourning. Watched the footage the next day. His father, overwhelmed by grief and unable to finish viewing the video, is now accused of targeting a deputy in response. Yeah, you can get the death penalty for that type stuff. You really can. So he went and crashed out because of his son. He was really emotional and all that type stuff. So, man, what do you do in that type situation? You know, like I said, it'd be kind of hard trying to judge this stuff. You know, I cover the stories and all that, but I don't be trying to pick out what should happen to these people. You know, this guy is incredibly emotional, but it's a recurring story. It's just like Tyree Nichol. You know, it's a recurring story that we get from the community, and it's an ongoing battle. We just don't have too much of a relationship with the police force. They, you know, they scared of these hood people too. The police be scared themselves, you know. They don't want to have to go there unless they really have to, you know. That's just not a stain on all the officers. Some people do their job, but when you sign up to be a police officer, you know what you signed up for. And we know it's a double standard out there when it comes to police, and you know, they police my community and view us very differently. The reaction from us is not the same that other communities may get. You know, so but yeah, it's a recurring thing. We all just keep feeling that repeatedly, historically, for decades, you know, even longer than that, hundreds of years. You want to really think about it. You know, it's just policing is very different when it comes to communities like where I come from. So, you know, you can't live in society without some type of law and order. You got to have law and order, but you know, everybody not treated the same. Everybody is not treated equal. Everybody is dealt with differently. And it's not like this community even come off even different than those other communities, because they act like donkeys in those other communities as well. It's just that the communities that I come from, they're repeatedly on the news, and they're getting it from a lot of the music too, you know, a lot of the entertainment. So, you know, that's not a stain on hip hop, but that's where they basing the attitude of people like me or people that come from the communities like where I come from, which is urban city. So I've been living in the urban city like my entire life. You know, so I deal with the city life, the grind of the city life on a daily basis. So it is what it is. So, but I just wanted to cover that story right there. Rodney Hinton Jr., and he's being charged with killing this officer and stuff like that. It can get you the death penalty. It definitely can. I don't know if they got that in Ohio or not. You may have to research that. But the city of Cincinnati, I'm pretty sure this is big news over there, and it's been covered through a lot of podcasters. But I want to thank y'all for joining me at GPTV1. I will be back with another live stream. You can go to the channel, look up some of the latest videos, and you can check out some of my archive stuff. I updated a lot of things on there. Let's hit that 7,000, and then let's march on to that 10,000. We're looking to get to 10,000 subscribers. Right now, the goal is to get to the 7,000 subscribers. So we only got less than 100 to go, and I know we can get there. I know GP fam, I know we can hit that 7,000 mark, and then we're gonna march on the 10,000 mark. You know, by the end of this year, I really want to have my subscriptions built up. So I want to thank y'all, and